No, there's, yeah.
That's great. And so when you say you want to reach more companies, more that especially businesses and people and maybe individuals that are striving for more, um, how do you go about what's your approach to connecting with those types of people?
Look, I do a lot of networking. Networking that is really not only for, I take networking first. Sometimes when people say the word networking, they think it's a little bit negative. I take it on the positive side. I meet wonderful people all the time in networking. Personally, I do networking because I want to be among peers, people that think alike, that have the aspirations to be better on their own personality. I don't
Yeah.
want them all just only to be better in types of business on their business, but they want to be better, a better version of themselves. So I do a lot of networking, and that's basically how I get clients. I try to understand their problems, put myself in their shoes. Being an entrepreneur myself, it's easier to connect with other entrepreneurs that they are having also the same issues. I believe entrepreneurship and business owners are probably the loneliness and loneliness, yeah, profession there is, because there is not a lot of people you can touch base or touch or exchange information on. You know what I mean? Have these brainstormings that you need and that you have mostly on corporate, you know? So,
Yeah.
but that's how I
As
normally I
far as
go. How I connect with them is basically like that. I do a lot of also talks, and this also helps a lot.
yeah. And do you utilize any uh marketing campaigns or anything like that, or is that like not something that you've
Look, I do a
uh,
lot of LinkedIn. That's what I believe we should be. Sometimes Instagram, but I don't do a lot of promotion. Maybe I should do more.
okay.
Um, it's a thing that I want to improve next year, have more
Yeah.
outreach in terms of promotion. Still, I believe that human touch is still the best one.
Oh,
Is
it's
it easy
definitely
connect?
the top. Yeah.
Yeah, coaching is a
And
contact sport. So the more you contact with your possible clients, the better it is for you and for them,
yeah,
of course.
absolutely. And is your outreach, do you work with clients outside of the country that you're from or that
Yes,
you work in?
mostly. In fact, I work with both, a mix. In Portugal, I work with a lot of SMEs, so small and medium enterprises. That's where the most of the the landscape in Portugal of the business is small and medium enterprises, and that's where they need mostly leadership skills. Normally, they are entrepreneurs that they start their own businesses, they are family-owned businesses, they are still in generational transition. How do I make the transition smoothly? All these kind of things. And in outside, I work more with middle management that are going to be promoted to leaders in the organization, or executives and startups as well, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. And do you see that are companies and people that are looking for this sort of work, is it becoming more like accepted as far as like how they would welcome this sort of assistance, or is there
Yes,
some
I think that
is there any
companies are
resistance?
changing. Yes, companies are changing, especially because coaching, executive coaching or leadership coaching, normally in the corporate world was seen when were you not performing well. So if you are not performing well, people will give you a coach, so you can adjust to the culture, you can do things by the book, let us say. Now there is a shift that people, um, even a CEO or a vice president or an executive or even a small and medium enterprise owner, feels alone. He needs to have somebody to challenge him, to help him, to hold him accountable in a sense. You know what I mean? So
Hmm. Yeah.
At the end of each coaching session, normally we plan the week ahead or the weeks ahead in terms of work. We do objectives. It could be learning objectives, personal objectives, business objectives, and then we hold people accountable on the next session, and we normally investigate the what type of challenges they had during the week. For example, to meet a certain goal or to do something, and then we debrief that and we go through challenging the beliefs people have, no? Because most of the time we don't accomplish the things we set out to be to that we want to accomplish because of the beliefs we have, basically.
Interesting. Yeah. It's so as far as are there particular types of companies like particular industries that you seem to resonate towards, or people come to you, or is it just across many different
I think
sectors?
there is no, yeah, it's across sectors and across companies, across industries, because leadership is leadership, is a human skill or a human, yeah. So it doesn't really have to do anything about the industry. If I'm doing business coaching, there is also no te gravitas. Basically, a coach is a person that makes a lot of questions and makes you think differently. So independent of the business, um, you always are seen as a value added, basically, because you are making the tough question, the tough questions. One, you are telling them the way they should be hearing it, not what they want to hear, but you're telling it the truth, the way it is, and this is highly
Hmm.
appreciated. So I don't have a particular business, a particular industry, or a particular business that I focus on. I have more affinity if I'm on the chemical world because all my previous corporate world career was on the chemical side. So I tend to have more affinity, but it doesn't mean that they are my customers. I've coached from restaurants to fast food to chemicals to credit companies to you name it. A lot of different businesses. Real estate I did as well. So as you can see,
Hmm.
it's very broad.
Yes. So as far as do you do you see yourself like evolving in this process yourself and the way you coach and what comes up
Absolutely,
as you,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I learn a lot. I normally have a coaching style that goes sometimes due to my corporate career. People ask me a lot of suggestions, so I jump from a little bit. I call it a mentor coach. So I jump from being a coach to a mentor in the same session, and I like that. I like to share what happened to me and how people can pick up this experience and make it their own. So probably I will evolve more to a mentor coach type of coach, and
Uh-huh.
it changed the way I am as well. I become much more authentic with myself and with others, and transparent, more than honest, transparent, and that's been really helpful. Another thing is that I
Well,
do
that's
also
just
a lot of volunteer work in terms of coaching. I coach people in areas of social enterprises as well, and this has enriched me as a person to touch the areas of homeless people,
yeah.
peoples with that are handicapped, inclusion issues. So all of this. I belong to the DIB committee in ICF Global Committee. So it's really good also to have the perspective of other colleagues and how we can transform coaching to be more inclusive.
Wonderful. No, that's it sounds like you're really well rounded. I mean, it seems like that's part of a holistic approach you're taking, and also kind of not it's not all business related. It's like the human. the whole human experience. And one of the things that seemed important to you too was being a father in the mix of all of it, right? As far
Yes,
as how you're raising
yes.
your son and so forth.
Yes, it was very important because I was not expecting to be a father, and this comes from my experience when I was in South Africa working. Um, in fact, I defined myself first as a father, and one day, me and my husband at the time went to an orphanage, and we saw our son. So it was an immediate, he was 5 years old. It was an immediate attraction. This is my son, and this is my son, and this is my son, period. And there is no justification. I
Wow,
don't know what happened. My son is my son. Now he's 21 years old and he's doing his own life. And it was hard for him
incredible.
when he left home because
Yeah,
it's your little boy leaving home. But I'm very proud. I'm very happy that he's doing that. But I cannot explain to
yeah,
you. I think it's like when you have a natural son, it's the same thing. You just get it. And I just got a 5-year-old boy, could barely speak English or none at all. And he's now a
incredible.
grown man speaking three languages, Portuguese, English, and Dutch. So I'm very proud of him. More than myself. A lot of people say that being an adoptive father is a gift. For me, it was the opposite. I was gifted with the most wonderful son. I'm getting a
Yes.
little bit emotional. Sorry.
Yeah, I share that with you.
I apologize.
Yeah. No, no, I understand. I, no, no, not at all. That's my story too, is that I have an adopted son, and now I have four granddaughters. So it's like
Wow, amazing.
it's been quite a journey. That's such an important part of our lives. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I totally
Normally,
honor that in you. So that's
yes,
great.
normally
And
I always said to him, most of your colleagues or of your friends didn't, they were born. I choose you to be my son. And that's very, very important. In fact, his second name
right.
is Zulu. So his second name is a derivative of the word the chosen one in Zulu. So because he was
Wow.
chosen. So, and
That's
I love him to death. So
yes. That's incredible.
yeah,
I know you do. I can tell.
you know the feeling. If you
It
have an
exudes
adopted
off you.
parent, you know the feeling.
Yes.
So I was not expecting at all to be a father. I'm 56. I was a father at 40 something. So I was not really expecting.
Yeah.
Just boom. And I couldn't,
But it
since
was
the
meant to be.
day,
Yeah. It's
yeah, it's transformative, period. There is nothing else I can say.
wonderful. That's great. So it's so important for you to live your life in a way that sets a good example, whether for your son or for um, the people that you coach, the organizations you work with, are the things that, practices that you
Yeah.
have that help you, um, show up in that, like you said, like an authentic and mentoring and powerful way. Is there things that you do day to day that make a difference in your life to be able to show up, fully present for people?
Look, I always live um, according to my values. And they are authenticity, respect, trust, ambition, and I'm missing one which I didn't remember, but probably I will come back. Oh, and empathy. So
Uh,
these are my values, and I always live by them. So they are very present in my life, and I have the behaviors I always have. So respect, I always treat everybody the way I want it to be treated. Um, Authenticity, I bring my whole self to both to work, to my entire life. I always live like that. Compassion, I put the empathy I have, thinking of for the other and feeling for the other, understand how I can help them. And trust, I do what promise I was going to do or said I was going to do. And this is the behaviors I have every day, constantly. So I don't know how to live another other way. So these are I transform my values into behaviors that I don't know how to live any other way. So That's the way.
Interesting. Was that something that these values and your exploration of all that and really getting to know what's meaningful for you, was that derived partially from, like you talked about, Simon Sinek, I think is his name, the coach that inspired you? Was that a process to uncover those things about yourself, or did you just do it intuitively?
No. I did it. Well, I think it was part when I was trying to um, find my why. That pop up as
Yeah,
well. How could I live in a way that I could inspire others? And sometimes people, one of my values I forgot is also, I didn't forgot, but I forgot to tell you, it's ambition.
yeah,
And people
yes.
always connect ambition with money and material things. And my ambition is I want to be a better version of myself. So that's what I do every day. Every day I try to be better. How I try to be better? Just work a little bit harder one day. Just say good morning to one more person one day. Just be more respectful. So this type of ambition to be a better version of yourself, it's the behavior I have for ambition. It's the living like according to my values. um, it was a part of. I probably lived like that before I gained awareness in coaching and in these transformative sessions that I had, or training course I had with Simon's team. I think that session and that training course made me more aware. Probably I would leave them without being aware. And then I really crystallized them and I said, yes, that's the way I live. And I always, in coaching, in my sessions, I always start with the values part. And even in a company, sometimes people ask me, but these are my values. It is no. If the company is yours, that's the values of your company. And people struggle understanding that the personal values of an entrepreneur, of a business owner, are the values of the company. So you cannot say I'm a trustful person and do, or I'm an ethical person, it's one value, and do unethical business, or try to cheat your customer not by not being trustful. So people struggle understanding that, and I always incentivize leaders to create a good set of values for their culture, because that's culture is highly important in companies. It's the most probably important thing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. And as far as what what you want to, like, I think you have a vision for where you're going. And do you see something like, do you see anything in the future that looks like a roadblock or challenges that
No,
will make it challenging for you?
well,
Or
a lot of coaches think that AI is going to be an issue. I don't see it. I use AI in my coaching practice to help me streamline analysis, to help streamline thoughts I have, sometimes even to prepare sessions that I will allow. I have these ideas. This client is giving me a lot of inputs. How should I prepare the session? And then AI could be, that's probably the most roadblock that people are seeing in the coaching industry. I'm not seeing it. I'm I'm helping. Sometimes, for example, even during a session, and I say to a client, let's build up the vision of your life. And he says, I don't know why. I just say, throw out some words. And we just plug it in, and I just say, while in the call or in the session, I say, look, I just plug it in your words here on AI, and they just gave me this vision. What do you think? He said, well, it's a good start. Yeah, go pick up on this and refine it better with your own words. So it's an enabler instead of being a roadblock. And if you as a coach don't accept this, then I think, or I almost believe, that will be a roadblock if you don't use it as an enabler. You know, or for example, suppose you do an assessment on leadership or an assessment on your disc personality. I always plug it in and say, give me more. You know what I mean? I do a prompt that say,
uh-huh.
okay, I understand this person has this profile that is like that. how could I help him transform his leadership style having these characteristics? That's how I use AI. I use AI as an advisor, enabler for me to coach better. And then I believe in the future, coaching will be very important. The more we transition to, we accept digital and we accept AI, because human touch, empathy
Uh-huh.
is something that AI doesn't still have. And I think that empathy is what makes coaching sessions really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. 'Cause your human touch, which
Yeah. And also
at
the
least to this point,
accountability.
AI cannot.
The accountability, Alan. It's easy to go to ChatGPT or to Gemini or to Perplexity and ask them, or Claude, you now my coach, prepare me, tell me what to do so I can change. So it writes you wonderfully, but who is going to hold you accountable?
Yeah,
It has to be a
right.
person, because if you say to I didn't do it, AI says, well, try better, or what should I answer to you? You know what I mean?
It
It's this
doesn't, yeah,
accountability
it's
factor
not,
and
it's not
human
built that
touch
way.
to
Yeah,
say, okay, you didn't do it, but what did you do else? You know? So I don't see it as a roadblock personally, but that's me. So,
that's good. That's good. It's an open mindset. Yeah. Um, well, Casimiro, it's been wonderful. Is there any closing thoughts that you'd like to share? Just, to help people in their approach to life and so
well, I
forth. And
just, I want to thank you first of all for the invitation and for the opportunity.
absolutely.
And then just to say, probably closing thought is that if you want to change and be a better version of yourself, you're the only one responsible for it. I normally joke with people, and pardon me the joke, is that don't wait for the horse and the white prince on the horse, because it's not coming.
Ah,
Nobody is going to
yeah.
change. Nothing is going to happen. Coaching is not a magic portion. There is no magic portion. The commitment is to yourself, and if you want to change, I strongly believe everybody can change. Everybody can achieve what they want, but they have to put the commitment and the work, and the focus. So I would say that,
Good advice.
so
Wonderful.
that's what
Well,
I would say.
thank you. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, it's
Thank you so much.
wonderful, and I wish you the very best. And
Thank you so much.
glad to have you on this podcast today.
Perfect.
Take care.
Thanks a
Bye bye.
lot. Cheers. Bye bye.